Chapter 3 Holly, Jolly by Episode 3. The mystery shifts from what happened to Will to where is he? The episode centers emotionally on Joyce Byers. Up until now, people think she's unstable, grief stricken, delusional. But Joyce doesn't grieve, she believes. The Christmas lights scene is one of the most iconic moments in television history. Joyce buys dozens of lights, hangs them across her living room wall, and begins asking questions. Will, if this is you, where blink the lights? And they respond. One blink for yes, two blinks for no. This moment changes everything. It tells us that Will is alive but not here. Meanwhile, we see deeper flashbacks of Eleven inside Hawkins' lab. She is placed inside a sensory deprivation tank, floating in darkness, using her psychic powers to spy on targets. We realize something chilling. The lab didn't just study her, they weaponized her. And during one of these experiments, she makes contact with something not human. At the same time, we see glimpses of Will in a dark, decaying version of Hawkins, a place covered in ash-like spores and twisted vines. The Upside Down. At the end of the episode, Joyce tears down her wallpaper after seeing something moving beneath it. The wall stretches outward as if something is pushing through from the other side. Will is trying to break through. He's close, but trapped. Episode 3 confirms the supernatural reality of the show. The mystery is no longer subtle. It's terrifyingly real. Chapter 4 The Body. Chapter 4 delivers one of the most emotionally manipulative twists in Season 1. A body is discovered in the quarry. It looks like Will Byers. The entire town mourns. The boys break down. Mike cries in disbelief. The funeral preparations begin. But Joyce refuses to accept it. She screams that it's not her son. Everyone thinks she's lost her grip on reality. But we, the audience, know she's right. Chief Jim Hopper becomes suspicious. He examines the body closely. Something feels off. Later, in one of the most powerful moments of the episode, Hopper breaks into the morgue and cuts open the body. Inside? Stuffing. It's fake. This reveal shifts the tone dramatically. Now, the show is not just about monsters, it's about a government cover-up. The lab staged Will's death to silence the town. From this point forward, Hopper is no longer passive. He becomes determined. This is the episode where conspiracy and horror fully merge. Chapter 5 The Flea and the Acrobat. This episode is about understanding. The boys visit their science teacher to ask about alternate dimensions. He explains the concept through a metaphor. Imagine an acrobat walking a tightrope. Now imagine a flea that can jump between the rope and a parallel rope beside it. That's how dimensions might overlap. This explanation gives the audience a framework for the Upside Down. It's not just a different place. It's a parallel reflection of Hawkins. Meanwhile, Hopper breaks into Hawkins' lab but is knocked unconscious. When he wakes up at home, his house has been bugged. The lab is watching him. The tension rises. Eleven continues using her powers, but every time she does, her nose bleeds. This detail is important. Her power has a cost. She is not invincible. This episode builds intellectual tension rather than action. It explains the rules of the world, and that makes everything scarier. Chapter 6 The Monster. Chapter 6 brings action back to the forefront. Nancy Wheeler and Jonathan decide to hunt the Demogorgon. They set up a trap inside the Byers' house. When the monster appears, it is brutal, raw, animalistic. The show stops teasing and finally shows us what we're dealing with. This is survival horror. Meanwhile, Hopper and Joyce confront Hawkins' lab and demand the truth. They are finally told about the gate, about the alternate dimension, about the creature. The adults are no longer in the dark. The truth is revealed, but at a terrible cost. Chapter 7 The Bathtub. This episode is emotional and tense. The boys create a makeshift sensory deprivation tank in a school gym using salt water and a bathtub. Eleven enters it to search for Will. The scene is quiet, intimate. She floats in darkness. Then she finds him. He's alive, weak, coughing, but alive. This confirmation changes everything. Hopper makes a deal with the lab. He will give up Eleven's location in exchange for access to the Upside Down to rescue Will. This is morally complex. Hopper chooses one child to save another. It shows that even heroes must make impossible decisions. The emotional weight here is heavy. Trust is fractured, but hope still exists. Chapter 8 The Upside Down. The episode opens with tension already high. The lab has discovered where Eleven is hiding. Government agents surround the middle school. Inside, the boys, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, prepare for something they don't fully understand. Meanwhile, Jim Hopper has made a deal with Hawkins' lab. In exchange for giving them Eleven's location, he demands access to the gate so he and Joyce Byers can rescue Will. This decision is morally complicated. Hopper sacrifices one child to save another. It shows how desperate the situation has become. Hopper and Joyce suit up in hazmat gear and descend into the gate. The moment they cross over is haunting. The Upside Down is a decayed reflection of Hawkins. Ash falls from the sky like snow. The air is toxic. Vines crawl across buildings. It feels dead, but alive at the same time. They search frantically, and then they find him. Will is unconscious, connected to a vine-like organism, almost as if the Upside Down is feeding off him. Joyce refuses to lose him. They cut him free. Perform CPR. And after terrifying seconds, Will coughs. He's alive. It's one of the most emotional payoffs of the season. The mother who refused to give up was right all along. The Demogorgon tracks 11. Government agents storm the building. The kids hide in a classroom. 11 uses her powers to violently repel the agents, slamming them into walls. It's shocking. Up until now, her powers have been defensive. Now they are lethal, but the real threat appears next. The Demogorgon enters the classroom. Tall, silent, predatory. The kids try to fight back with fire, their only known weakness. But it's not enough, and then something powerful happens. 11's sacrifice. 11 steps forward calmly. She channels everything she has. The classroom trembles. Windows shatter. Blood pours from her nose. The Demogorgon begins to disintegrate. And then 11 disappears with it. Gone. No body. No explanation. Just silence. It feels like a sacrifice. A child forced to save everyone. This moment cements 11 as the emotional heart of the series. Final review. Season 1 of Stranger Things is nearly flawless. The pacing builds perfectly from mystery to revelation. Each episode escalates stakes. Characters evolve naturally. The emotional payoff feels earned. Final rating, 9.5 tenths. It remains one of Netflix's strongest original seasons ever. Mike stands in front of 11. He tells her she's not a monster. He tells her she can stay with him. He tells her he cares about her. For the first time, 11 feels seen, not as a weapon, but as a person. She turns to face the Demogorgon.